coast to coast, the people say, we want Ike, we want Ike.
This is Floyd Olds of Tacoma, campaign director of the Eisenhower for President campaign in the state of Washington. Citizens of this state in the last few days have demonstrated that we are in the forefront of the movement to nominate Dwight Eisenhower for president. In the great and populous counties of King and Snohomish and Pierce, which include the cities of Seattle and Tacoma and Everett, our citizens have shown by an unprecedented turnout and an unprecedented vote their favorable reaction and their enthusiastic support for Ike for president. Some have asked me, what can we do to help in this movement? And the answer is simple, if it may not necessarily be easy. The answer is that if there have not yet been held precinct caucuses in your county, go to the Republican Precinct Caucus. Demonstrate that you are for Eisenhower. Ask to be made a delegate to the county convention. If those caucuses have already been held, get in touch with your Republican county organization and tell them that you are for Eisenhower and that you want to make sure that the delegates from your county to the state convention are Eisenhower delegates. These are the ways in which you, as a citizen, can join in that great and growing movement all over the country of both Republican and independent voters who want Eisenhower for president and who have the hardihood and the courage to get up and say so at every possible occasion. We now have assurance that 3 of the largest counties of our state are for Eisenhower, that Republicans and independents are going to support him with an almost 2-to-1 majority. Join in that majority, join in your Republican caucus, and go to your Republican county conventions and help in this great movement. Thank you.
We want Ike. Shout it loud and shout it strong. Shout it as we march along. We want Ike.
The war was over, and here in London, the world-revered Allied Commander-in-Chief was on the first leg of his long-dreamed-of journey home. Yet, while sharing the majestic enthusiasm of Britishers, Ike Eisenhower was believing this in his own heart as one American. I hate war, as only a soldier who has lived it can, as only one who has seen its brutality, its futility, its stupidity. Yet, to preserve his freedom of worship, his equality before the law, his liberty to speak and act as he sees fit, a Londoner will fight, and so will the citizen of Abilene. When we consider these things, then the valley of the Thames draws closer to the farms of Kansas and the plains of Texas. Thence to liberated France, the second step of the journey home. One American, receiving the phenomenal adulation of millions of Frenchmen, and being completely human and sincere, Ike loved it, and they liked Ike. Inwardly, though, Ike must have been thinking, this tribute is heartwarming, but dear people, peace is not easily attained. And to preserve peace, we must build peace step by step. America, New York City, home. God bless America. Yes, sir, New York. East side, west side, all around the town. Great to be home again. Yes, it's great to have you home again, Ike. We love you. America's greatest metropolis showered affection and confetti upon our returning hero. Millions of people line the sidewalks, trained out of skyscrapers to wave to Ike. And every time Ike waved right back. That completely infectious grin of Ike's really got New York. Yes, and their wildly enthusiastic reception got Ike, too. You can bet on that. He said with very deep sincerity, by golly, New York just can't do this to an old farm boy. and keep its reputation for sophistication. There was no doubt about it. People liked Ike. Well, key to the city, unofficial, that is. Everywhere, cheering throngs. But you know something? What Ike really wanted to do was just exactly what any other GI home from overseas wanted to do the very first thing, and that was see a baseball game. Yes, sir? A great thrill. He waited a long time for it. Say, isn't that Mel Ott? Hiya, Mel. I've been waiting for this. Next stop, Washington, D.C. Mamie. God bless you, Mamie. You look wonderful. One American, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. A grateful nation bestows its highest honors. Everywhere, exultant crowds. A jubilant capital of the United States. And I might say the same for Ike. The Congress of the United States. Ike said, to define democracy in one word, we must use the word cooperation. Cooperation of free management, free labor, free enterprise, and free farmers. A group effort that has made possible our American way of life. The battlefronts and the home fronts. Together we have found victory. But even the banners of triumph must not make us forget that to preserve peace, we must build peace step by step. Next stop, Abilene, Kansas. Home. There's Mom. God bless you, Mom. And the whole family. Milton, Earl, Arthur, and Edgar. Yes, the old hometown is really putting on a show for its favorite son. Talk about grassroots. Brother, this town, its people, its likes, and its votes are really grassroots. Grassroots. Yes, sir, a typically American phrase. But what are grassroots? Well, to Ike Eisenhower's way of thinking, grassroots add up to a working philosophy embracing these three fundamental principles. First, that individual freedom is our most precious possession, the wellspring of our spiritual and material greatness. Second, that all our freedoms are a single bundle. Freedom to buy, to work, to hire, to bargain, to save, to vote. Destruction of any one inevitably leads to the destruction of all. Third, that freedom to compete vigorously and to cooperate wholeheartedly make our system the most productive on earth. And now, a quick insight into what the American people are thinking and saying today.
Well, what do you think of General Eisenhower as our next president?
I think he is the man that will be elected for our next president.
He's got to get it nominated first.
Millions of Americans believe as you do, Mr. Barber. But he's got to be nominated first. Let's don't forget that. Ike must be nominated first. And after Ike's nominated, let's work together and elect him as our next president.
What do you think about Ike in the New Hampshire primaries?
I think it's great.
Well, I'm going to do something I haven't done in 16 years.
You are? What's that?
I'm going to register and vote.
How come you waited 16 years to vote in the primary?
Well, John, you see, they've always given me a man to vote for. This year, I'm going to pick the man that I want.
No, we're just going to be here in a minute.
Won't you sit down?
Rain or shine, the people of America are turning out to register. A pulsing groundswell of public opinion. We, the people, nominating the man we want for our next president. Yes, all over this great land of ours, barbers, filling station attendants, grocers, doctors, lawyers, engineers, laborers, executives, ministers, veterans, housewives, people from all walks of life, every race, creed, and religion, are making sure they can exercise their precious right to vote. How about you? Are you going to vote this any day with her 2 children? Why, she has taken this time out to assure her vote. Pardon me, madam.
Yes?
You must have a very good reason for voting in this election.
Well, it all began with an article I read recently in a magazine. I used to think, what can I do? What good is my one little individual vote? And then I started to think, if every housewife in the country felt this way, we really wouldn't be electing a president at all. So I determined to come out in the rain, and I had to bring my children along because I had no one to leave them with, so that I could register and vote in the primary, and thereby elect the man that I want for president. You know, I have a feeling that it's not only my privilege, but my duty to register and to vote.
The greatest weapon in the American arsenal is unity. Unity of purpose behind great concepts. A unified determination to stand before the world as morally strong, honest, with an understanding of people, their needs, and a determination to do something decent about them.
Yes, this is the year of decision. This is the year when the people want a president who's as American as pumpkin pie. Who, like Abraham Lincoln, is a completely self-made man. A man who knows the value of money because he has earned everything he has. A man who knows intuitively the problems and hopes and possibilities of America. A man who has shown himself to be one of the most remarkable diplomats in the nation's history. A man whose magnetic personality and tremendous strength of leadership can keep the peace. One American, the hope of 160 million Americans, one vote at a time. At.Eisenhower.